Let's talk about the difference between heat and temperature. We often use these words as the same thing in normal everyday discussions, but in science there's a big difference between them. So let's pretend we've got a coffee cup over here and a coffee cup over here, and there's some coffee in them. If they're both at 30 degrees Celsius, because it's science, then they of course have the same temperature, 30 degrees Celsius, and they of course have the same heat. Well, let's say we make this one and we change it into a bathtub full of water, also at 30 degrees Celsius, and we still keep our same coffee cup here at 30 degrees Celsius. Now, the temperatures haven't changed. So both at 30 degrees Celsius, so the temperature would be the same in the coffee cup as it would be in the bathtub. But now the heat is your total amount of energy. So the total amount of energy is definitely going to be more in the bathtub because there's far more particles in the bathtub than there are in the coffee cup. So here, between 1 and 2, 1 wins for having more heat. Now if we look at case 3 versus case 4, again a bathtub. But now again we got our coffee cup, but this time our bathtub's at 10 degrees Celsius and our coffee cup's at 30 degrees Celsius. The question's asking which one of these two is going to have more heat. So our bathtub still has more particles. Than our coffee cup does. But the bathtub's at a lower temperature, 10 degrees versus 30 degrees. Now our definition for temperature is going to be your average amount of energy. Technically kinetic energy, it's a bad G, energy. So average versus total. So the average amount of energy in the particles is 30 degrees here versus 10 degrees here. But even if this was actually a third of the energy is here, which it's not because it has to be in Kelvin to have an actual absolute scale, if that was the case, even as a third, we have way more than 3 times the particles here. So this still has way more energy in a colder bathtub than there is in the hot coffee cup. The heat is that total energy. The total energy in the bathtub is way more than the total energy in those hot particles in that coffee cup.